It is a great day to be alive, and I am so thankful for God, Jesus Christ, who lives in us. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing a dream that I had on last night, September the 4th, and I'm going to be sharing what I feel God is showing me as it relates to the month of November, the collapse of the US dollar, international banking, and national banking. Before we get started, I am not a financial advisor. Nothing that I'm sharing is financial advice. I am simply sharing dreams, visions, and interpretations that I feel that God has given me as it relates to crypto. Now, let's get started. In this dream, I remember taking notes from a whiteboard, and there were pictures of people on the right side, and I'm not sure if all three of the people that I saw, if they were all Indian, but I do remember that the first person that I saw was a little Indian boy. And there was information about each person written next to the picture, followed by a number, or the number may have come before the information, but I do remember seeing a number, some information, and then the person next to the information. In the middle, I remember seeing a picture, something about nature. And on the left side of the board, I remember seeing information as it related to the topic of international banking. Now, I can't recall exactly what was written down or how I knew that the notes that I was taking was about international banking. It was just understood. And I do remember not being in the same room as the whiteboard. I remember walking back and forth between rooms, looking at the whiteboard, walking back to my notebook and writing down the notes that I saw on the board. And then the scene changed. In this part of the dream, I was now up close to the whiteboard and I was finalizing my notes, making final observations, and then I came to a conclusion. I remember saying out loud, okay, so I need to make a side note here that we need a national bank. That is what's missing. I remember seeing three black Sharpies next to me, and I thought that I would use those to write on the bottom of this black crate that I saw. I picked the crate up, I looked at the bottom of it, and I thought about writing the words National Bank on the bottom of this black wooden crate. And at this point in the dream, I understood that the dollar was collapsing. And then the scene changed. In this part of the dream, I was sitting with an old classmate. I was telling her how excited I was that we both were getting ready to have a birthday in a few days. In actuality, we both have birthdays 2 days apart. And in this dream, I remember saying, I'm so excited that we're getting ready to see another year. And at this point, I was looking down at a calendar that was in my hand, and it was a calendar of the month of November. And I saw my birthday was highlighted for the next day, almost like when you're looking at your cell phone calendar and you see it highlights what today's date is. Well, that's how this paper calendar was in my hand. It was highlighting what day it was, but then I looked and saw that my birthday was going to be the next day, and that was the end of the dream. My interpretation for this dream is that there is something that is getting ready to take place that will affect the US dollar to the point of collapse. Also, it's going to affect the national banking system. It will be missing. And in addition to that, international banking will become the main topic of discussion. This will take place in November, specifically the first week. Because of those birthdays, specifically the first week, will it be this year, 2024? But I do realize that the month of November was highlighted in this dream in two ways, and I'll explain that second way in a moment. But for the first way, it will be because of the birthdays. So now relating this dream to XRP, the classmate in my dream was the same classmate in the dream that I shared about 2 orders being filled. I shared that dream in this video. Months later, after having this particular dream, God showed me that he was referring to XRP. He was showing the XRP would go to $5,000, and at this point we can expect limited trading to occur. We can expect low supply, high demand, and the price of XRP to soar. So 5,000 would be the window between now and $5,000. We can expect XRP to move up quickly, very rapidly, in the hundreds. When it hits $5,000, we should start looking for that limited trading to take place, low supply, high demand, and XRP price will soar. So my question is, and I know everybody may have this question, as of now, as it relates to the dollar falling and what we feel is going to happen to the US dollar. Will XRP replace the dollar and become the world reserve currency? In this dream, I understood that the main topic was international banking, which, of course, deals with cross-border payments. And of course, my mind went to XRP for that reason as well, being that the national bank was understood in this dream to be missing. It's obvious that this means that the national banking system will go away. And for these two reasons, I related this dream to XRP. Again, because of the classmate, which was in the same dream that God showed me XRP. And also as it relates to the world reserve currency and all that's being shared now, seeing now all the evidence that points in the direction that XRP could be the next world reserve currency, taking the place of the US dollar. I also thought about BRICS, and BRICS plan to de-dollarize the US dollar. There's a lot that's coming up with BRICS starting September the 1st, so we should be keeping our eyes and ears open to see what happens next with BRICS and how it affects the US dollar. Another thought that I had was inflation and the possibility of a coming depression. I shared in a previous video titled A Storm of Economic Shocks. I shared in this video a dream that God gave me about the dollar falling and how it involved the situation that we're in now as far as inflations and high rates, and basically how things have played out so far with our economy. So could inflation be the only cause for the dollar to drop? Or will it simply play its part in combination to something else? And the second reason why I feel that this event will happen in November, in the month of November, is because of the little Indian people that I saw on the whiteboard. I found out, to my surprise, that the American Indian Heritage Month is in the month of November, starting November 1st. So along with the birthdays that I shared earlier, both of our birthdays being in November, to see that this American Indian Heritage Month is in November, to me that was more confirmation pointing to the month of November, that the event of the dollar collapsing could take place in November. In conclusion, I believe that we should expect to hear and see during the first week of November news about the collapsing of the US dollar heavily, negative news about our national banking system, and finally we should hear and see news about international banking, it being the main topic of discussion during this time of change. So let us continue to watch as well as pray. We know that our economy is getting ready to go through economic changes, economic shocks, but we must be encouraged in knowing that we do not have to go through it alone. If God is for us, who can be against us? Continue to hold to God's unchanging hand. Hide His word in your heart. Meditate on it day and night, so when these hard times come, we are equipped to stand. I'm still seeking God for more specifics, if any, on this particular dream. If there's anything more, I will definitely share if God permits. Until the next video, God bless.